commencer par la présentation de Runet, donc c'est Internet russe. Je vais transférer les présentations.
Hello. Hi everybody. Nice to be here. First of all, let me tell you that you have a wonderful cuisine. You should be proud of it. I'm still trying to recover after the lunch. So today I'm going to talk to you about Runet. I've gathered that Julia has told you already what that means. My first question was going to be, do you have any idea what Runet would stand for? But now you know it's Russian internet. And today I'm going to try to sell you on a few concepts. I will try to convince you that you should be trying to get into the Russian market with the Russian internet because it is a wonderful, wonderful place. And as soon as this starts, I'll continue, but before that, let's talk a bit. Tell me, please, what is your understanding of Russian internet? Is it modern or not really modern? You know, any ideas?
Answers from Russians.
Excuse me? Yeah, go ahead.
I can answer, but I'm Russian.
Okay, go ahead.
What is it? It's a kind of Google version?
Okay, excellent, good. This is a nice question. Well, see, this is how you spell it, Runet. Now, so this is basically what I told you about. Now, can I have the second slide, please? So this is basically very, very easy. You have Russian and you have internet, and together they are combined into a Runet word. The word was coined in 1997, and it has become very popular since then. You know, like 10 years ago, I would be talking to Americans and with Europeans, and the questions would be like, do you have ATMs or do you have internet? Those were logical questions at that time, and you know, because Russia was seen as an underdeveloped country. And today, when I meet people from other countries at Russian conferences, they are actually very much impressed by the way Russian internet has developed so far. It is, you know, it's like with mobile, with cell connections, with Wi-Fi. You would be really impressed by the way how well spread and fast internet in Russia is. You know, like every time we go to the United States, we compare the speed of the bandwidth of the cell connection. It's horrible there. And the reason is the technology there appeared a lot sooner than in Russia. So basically right now we have the cream, the top of the cream as far as technology is concerned, the internet and such. So it is an awesome place to be, and I'm going to tell you why. Can I have the next one? There are basically three reasons why I think it's awesome and why I think you should direct your attention to this market. Like any market, as far as business is concerned, it should be populated, right? There should be enough people to sell things to. Like with any business, the people should have money, should be able to pay for the services you're providing via internet. And also, the market should be adaptive. What I mean by that is that market should not be closed. Market should be ready for any type of change. And what I would like to argue is that Russian market is really, really adaptive. So the 3 points is, Russian market is huge. People have money and spend it online, and it is highly, highly adaptive. And I will dwell on each subject separately. Please, next slide. So, this is, you know, a bit of statistics about the Russian market. I hope you all like the Yeti. Do you like the Yeti?
Yeah.
Excellent. I drew it myself. So, Yeti is huge, as well as the Russian internet market. Yeah, one quick word. There is no exact definition of what Runet is. There are two basic theories. One is any website, Runet is any website which is in Russian. The other one, it is any website registered or functioning in Russia. So I will be concentrating today on the Russian internet, like the territorial market. You wouldn't guess it, but it's #1 in Europe as far as the number of users is concerned. 76.5 million users. It's huge. It's actually more than the population of entire France. No offense there, this is just, the facts. And it is #6 in the entire world. To be frank with you, I have gathered the statistics only before I was getting ready for this presentation, and I was really impressed. This is huge, a huge market. So this is why I think that the market is actually freakishly huge. Next slide, please. So, of course, I'll have to say a few words about the cable and mobile. I've told you already that this has been developing incredibly fast. What you can see from here is that every 4th family in Russia has now bandwidth, cable internet. It is basically 20.6 million users, which is #7 in the world by the number of users. And the mobile is actually growing exponentially, 50% a year. This is like, #5 in the world, 75 million users. Basically, every person who is connected somehow to the internet has also mobile internet. We are working in the mobile area, we make mobile apps, and this is actually very cool for us because we understand the market is very big. Next slide, please. Yeah, what was also very interesting for me to find out, and I hope this will be interesting for you as well, is that Russia is actually #2 by popularity language on the web. Now you'll see that 6% of all the websites are in Russian, and it seems like it's not much, but if you think that you have 100%, at all, 50-something percent, 50-something percent of websites are in English, and then you'd have to divide the rest 45% between all the other languages. Now, surprisingly, Russian, not Chinese, not Spanish, not German, are #2. So that was surprising. And Chinese is just #7. Again, one more surprise. Can you go forward, please? Yeah. And of course, another thing, people have money. Russia is seen as an oil state. I will not dwell on politics, of course. We are not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about business, of course. And I would like to argue that the Russian market, as far as internet is concerned, is very much ready to adopt services from other countries, to adopt money from other countries. And like everywhere else, you can buy and sell stuff online, and it's about anything, absolutely anything. Of course, you have all the standard goods, but what is surprising, very much surprising for Russia, is that media is being sold online and is being bought online. Even 2-3 years ago, it was unthinkable. Russia is very big on piracy. Who has heard of issues about Russian piracy? Okay, there are people, which is great. So, yes, Russia is big on piracy. People used to not like buying electronic media online, but it has been changing drastically. People are breaking their habits. They are trying to purchase, they're starting to purchase movies online, music online, and this is actually breaking the market. It's really cool. Next one, please. So, again, some more statistics. You have the cute little guy there who loves adding things to his card. And the numbers are actually very nice. You have $25 billion market. This is an incredible number. Each user is apt to bring $1,272. This is actually more than in any other European countries. Now, if you would have the guts to go to the Russian market and try to sell something to them, this is how much you could be getting of each user. Think about that.
In a year?
Excuse me?
In a year? Per month?
These are the numbers for Russia.
Per day or per year?
Well, of course, revenue per user is what one user is bringing you, like in general, not per purchase. It's lifetime. Well, it's a concept. a statistical concept, what a user can bring to your business as far as money is concerned. Well, you know, revenue per user. So, and the market is growing 100% a year. At least was the growth between 2013 and 2014. Next slide, please. Yes. So that was about the money issue. I would like to dwell a bit on the companies that are in there and a few of the tendencies that we are seeing. Probably the first thing that I would like to say is that, again, back to the question of adaptivity. Russian market really likes to adopt things. Since many companies were not looking at Russia as something interesting, local companies started to take charge. Now, if you see the companies on the left side, like Google, Facebook, Blogger, Amazon, those are all very famous, very well-established companies. They're established basically in every country of the world, and they are leaders in their respective fields. Now, because the American and European companies were ignoring the Russian market, we have the local players, which are actually very strong players. Like Google is competing with Yandex. They are now trying really hard to take their position in the Russian market, but it's very hard. Yandex is doing a great job at localizing. You have Facebook and you have Kontakte. Those are two services which are also competing in Russia. Facebook is trying to take over, but very little chance. We have Blogger versus LiveJournal, Amazon versus Ozon. You know, this is just a tendency. So what we're seeing, actually, what we have been seeing for a lot of time, is that basically every Western, every European or American startup has a doppelganger or a copy in Russia. Unfortunately, it is very rare that the situation is vice versa, but we are seeing doppelgangers. The time lapse used to be 4 years, now it's just 2-3 years, which means that basically any service which appears in the world will be adopted in Russia in 2 or 3 years. It will be localized, and unless you, as the company who makes this product, will do that in Russia right away, you will have a doppelganger and you will lose this market forever. Yeah, so right now we have so many startups. It is a startup boom like everywhere else. You will be seeing a bit more of me today. I will be talking to you about the mobile market. I will be telling you more about the startup boom. And I will be arguing that Russia is actually right now probably the largest Silicon Valley in the world. Basically in any field you would have a startup which is trying to revolutionize this field. And this is all Russian internet. What I would like to point out is usability mantra. When I'm comparing Russian websites to American or European websites, what I'm seeing is that, man, really, Russian websites are really usable. They're user-friendly, but I'm not seeing as much in the European and American websites. I think the reason behind it is, again, European and American markets have been there for a long time, and we are trying to catch up. We are really trying to catch up, do our best in order to compete. Basically, every small company knows what usability is. They know that it is good for retention, they know that it is good for converting the users into buyers. And basically, anytime you would speak to someone about making a website, the first thing they're going to ask you is that, are you good at usability? You know, even regular users know anything about, everything about usability. And I describe it as usability mantra because this is the word you would be hearing a lot if you worked in the Russian market. Next slide, please. Yeah, so this is basically the end of my presentation. There are a few issues that you should be aware of course. Have you heard anything about government regulations in Russia? Okay, so this is actually highly unusual for Russia, but it's typical for the world. Governments in basically every country are trying to put screws on the internet, on the liberties of citizens to do whatever they please on the internet. People, of course, don't like that, and it has been happening in the West for a long time, and I'm sure you know that. Well, Europe is known for that, the States are known for that. The Russian internet is revolting against this. People are very much not pleased with the sanctions the government is trying to impose on the Russian internet. But, you know, this is just a world tendency, a problem of the world in large, not just Russia. So if you are thinking about moving to Russia, let that not stop you. Basically, the same rules apply like everywhere else. And again, the question of piracy, if you have a media product, yes, the piracy is still there, and yes, it is going away, slowly but steadily. And again, piracy is everywhere. And due to government regulations, it is going to be quite hard to do piracy. So if you hear of those problems, just ignore them. And remember, this is like everywhere else. Think of the large market I've told you about. Think of the money that people are ready to spend on the internet. And think that the market is very highly adoptive. Those are 3 reasons I was trying to sell you today. And yeah, go get them. And that's the end. And also remember that there are a lot of players on this market. A good market cannot exist without competition, and it is there. But what my experience shows, experience of my colleagues shows, that when you do things smart, if you have local partners, you can actually do a good job and build a good business. That's all. Thank you.